Guys, sorry I'm late, but here's part 2 of Norwood Grand new launch review. And the reason why I'm late is because I've been stuck here for the last few days and I'm still gonna be here every single day, so give me a call if you wish to come out. So before we go on, if you appreciate open sharing like this, we give you all the details that you are lazy to read, do me a favor by liking this video because it's going to help me a great deal. Thank you so much. So how this video is going to be done is, number one, we'll be sharing with you the context. So what you need to take note of the facing of this development so that you know which are the views, which blocks are facing what. Next, I'll be sharing with you the different unit types and what are my opinions of the different layouts, which are the ones I like and I will choose. Last but not least, I'll give you the exit strategy, which is using a 20% profit margin to see that whether this development is able to achieve the 30% using facts and figures. Now before I start, I must first let you know that this is the second GFA Harmonization project in Singapore. And what does it mean? It means that how we calculate the size of the unit when we sell it to you is totally different. Let me give you an example. For this layout that you see over here, this floor plan, based on the old computation calculation method, this is actually a 1356 square feet unit. However, if you use the new computation method, that means the new calculation method of the size of the unit, the exact same floor plan will be 1270 instead. And why is that so? Because based on the new ruling, the developers are unable to calculate the floor area of the aircon ledge into the actual floor area. So it means, simply put, whatever you buy today, the newer projects, you will see that the per square foot is actually higher by 5 to 7%. And currently there are only two projects. Number one was Lentor Mansion, which was also my project. I did a video about it and gave a clearer explanation of GFA harmonization, so feel free to go and check it out as well. But long story short, this project, when you compare with the previous new launches, the per square foot, you must minus 5 to 7% in order to normalize so that you will not be making a mistake in terms of your comparison. First, of course, our least favorite layout of most buyers is the one bedroom. You always hear people saying that
one bedroom cannot make money, one bedroom cannot make money.
Bro, that's not how you look at things. Most importantly is your entry price. But before you get there, let's talk about the unit itself. So once you enter, there's actually quite a long walkway, and then the usual open kitchen, which is not an issue at all because most people, when they're single, they don't really cook that often as well. Even so, it's just a small meal. You don't really need like a heavy cooking kind of kitchen. So, and right across the walkway, you actually have a study over here. And interestingly, most of the developments these days with a 495 square feet, one bedroom can hardly give you a proper one bedroom sizing, but this is able to give you even a study right here. And if you want to compare this with the previous kind of layouts, right, this will translate into about 5 to 7 square feet. But for this, after the harmonization, is 495 square feet. The rest are pretty standard. There are dual entrances for the toilet, a balcony, and you have half height windows because AC latch out there, so you don't have a full height window in your master bedroom. Facing wise, there are a couple of facing. Most of them are facing outwards, as you know, most of the time one bedrooms are for investment only, so therefore they don't really give you the best pool facings over there, which is good because it's actually friendly to those who have a budget constraint. Unit starts from 998k. Let me know what you think about the price. There's only one unit type of the 1 plus study, so there's nothing much to compare. Next, let's talk about the 2-bedroom unit. For the 2-bedroom without study unit, right, there's only one kind of layout, so very straightforward, the typical dumbbell layout. But what's different about this unit is that most of the 2-bedroom will have a kitchen that's open, and most of the time just along the walkway once you enter from the kitchen, but once you enter from the main door. But this one is actually something that is enclosable, which is interesting because for those that want an enclosed kitchen, this may serve a possibility as well. However, it's worth noting that there isn't any windows in the kitchen. I like the way the walkway is actually being structured because you have sufficient space for you to create more shoe cabinet space. In terms of the layout, dumbbell layout, enclosable kitchen, the rest is pretty standard. 624 square feet, where it is actually positioned, is quite interesting. Most of the facings are actually facing outwards. There's only one that's facing inwards. My favorite stacks would be stack 24 and 17, 32 and 23. Ideally the higher floor ones, and doesn't mean that I will surely buy this if I'm a buyer. It really depends on the premium that they are loading for the unblocked view. Let's say, because right across these stacks you are actually Innova Primary School, and as we know, schools are usually about 5 levels high, so if you want to really clear the views of the school, right, you probably want to buy something that's about 7 to 8 floor. And for this development, there's only 11 stories, so it really depends on how much per square foot the developer wish to load up. I will use a ballpark figure. As long as those with a clear unblocked view is less than 100k more than the ones without view, I would think that you can consider. However, if the floor jump is going to be like 80 to 100,000 for a 1 $1.3 over million unit, I would think that you could reconsider your options as well. The cheapest unit for investors or those who have actually a budget constraint will be the one that's facing the children playground in the early childhood development. This is part of the condo, but for those that now start to worry, hey, what is it? No, the entrance for this early childhood development is different from the residence entrance, so not to worry, separate entrance. Last but not least, for this layout, since there are so many stacks, I'll just say a little bit more. The toilets have no windows. Basically, it's mechanically ventilated. Is it a problem? No, because even in my house, I also have mechanically ventilated toilets, and we never die because somebody just took a poop inside the toilet. For CDL especially, this developer got built hotel and they know service apartment. So many, hotels usually don't have ventilated, or almost all hotels don't have ventilated, naturally ventilated toilets. So CDL, they know what to do, so that you don't need to worry. Next, there are two unit types of the 2+ study, and it's a very interesting one because it's not very common for you to see like ensuite study, meaning to say that the study is actually inside the master bedroom. So when my buyer saw it yesterday, first thing she said, "Oh, I love it." Why? Because she can build a walk-in wardrobe, perfect for the ladies. Of course, if you were to use it as a walk-in wardrobe, it could block off some light. So if you ask for my personal opinion, I would think that this will really serve a function of a study. I would actually create like a makeshift study whereby there's actually slide and park. So when you don't need it, you can slide and park and it just look like a normal wardrobe space, so that aesthetically is still pleasing. And the rest of the layout are pretty usual. Master bedroom is 20.9 square meters. Kitchen wise, you cannot enclose, so you cannot really do much of a heavy cooking. The rest pretty standard. Next will be the 2-bedroom plus study B2S type. I would think that this will be my more ideal layout because you can really create like a helper's room if you really need, or you can even create like a glass partition study so that you still maintain visual contact with your family while you are doing your work from home or even Zoom. Last but not least, the toilet is actually positioned right after the entrance, which I love it because most of the time when my friends come to my house, we need to tell them, "Hey bro, can you go and wash your feet?" So they already enter into the house and they need to walk into the corridor towards your rooms. Not that I don't feel comfortable, it's just that I think once they walk in, not naturally you just go in and wash their feet, because if you are my friend, you come my house before, you will know the drill. Coming to this, right, the developer actually created more stacks of these. Love it because why? There are units that are facing the pool, because many of the 2 bedrooms these days, right, developer won't really want to position it near the pool due to the sheer fact that they will charge you a premium. So my personal favorite from investment perspective would definitely be stack 20, because if you are here at the show flat, you can see that the lawn in front is actually pretty far away. So if you are taking something like a mid-floor, you will get quite a pretty nice view. Of course, not the most fantastic. However, that being said, it also depends on the pricing strategy of the developer. If there's not so much premium being loaded to the pool facing, I would definitely go for the pool facing. However, based on the usual norm, there should be about 5 to 7% premium on the pool facing, and given that position, I will likely be going for the one that is facing the lawn instead. 3-bedroom standard unit types, right? There are actually 3 different kind of layouts, and I'll tell you which one is my favorite at the end. First is the C1872 square feet unit. I love it when there's like an L-shaped walkway into the living area. One thing we love is that there's actually an enclosed kitchen. These days, some of the 3-bedroom compact units don't even come with an enclosed kitchen, or not to mention a window in the kitchen, but this one actually comes with it. The rest are pretty standard, but the interesting thing is that they position this as a study because there's actually slight extension of the walkway towards the rooms. And the next layout, right, similarly will be the 883 square feet. So for these, right, they don't have an L-shaped walkway. That means once you walk in, you see the living area, but not to worry because your sitting area and the dining area are not actually facing the main door. So likewise, there's a study over here, and there's a enclosed kitchen with windows, so you can actually do your heavy cooking over there. The more different layout will be the 904 square feet. So this layout itself actually comes with a bit of plus and minuses. Why? It comes with a dumbbell design kind of layout for the 3-bed, and it's pretty rare. I think I've only seen this like in 3 or 4 different projects, and 904 square feet is pretty much like a sweet spot. Just to recap, right, earlier on we said that anything you see over here, you need to plus a 5 to 7% if you wish to compare with the current launches, the current post-launch that was launched last year and before that. So the study here, right, let me know what you think inside the comments. I think that this study feels more like an extension of the living room, However, it will still serve the purpose if let's say you want to enclose it up to make it a mixed room or even a storeroom as well. There's a dry kitchen over here beside the DB box, and then once you enter, there's a wet kitchen. So if you have not already noticed, right, the bigger 3-bedroom doesn't have window at the kitchen, in the kitchen. So this can be a potential objection by some of the buyers over there. Only just 2 stacks, and these 2 stacks are actually quite interesting because one of them is facing the swimming pool, the other one is actually facing the lawn, which was the one that I felt that the setback is quite good. So given the choice of both units, I will likely be choosing the one that's facing the lawn for lower entry price. Why? Because maybe the person that is buying from you during your resale or during your exit will likely be somebody who needs 3 bedrooms but has budget constraints. And in most cases, right, these people will be willing to compromise on certain things, and all we need to find is a buyer that doesn't really do that much of heavy cooking and doesn't mind a kitchen without a window. So coming to my favorite stack for the 3-bedroom, I would think that it is stack 18 and stack 31. Not just because the square footage is lower, but also if you actually find a decent floor level or the developer doesn't really load up the price too much per floor, right, you will be able to enjoy a perpetual unblocked view unless the school in front moves away next time lah. But you know me, I'm quite a sucker for views. As long as the price is right, I would think that stack 18 and stack 31 will be my favorite stacks for the higher floors. But for those who actually have a budget constraint, right, you can consider the 883 square feet, even though it's actually facing the school and also the driveway, right, a part of the driveway. However, this will actually serve as an option for people who wish to actually have a 3-bedroom, budget constraint, don't mind a bit of noise, and do heavy cooking at home. The next 3-bedroom I'm going to talk about is the real 3+ study. I would think that this study is like the real study. Why? Because it actually has an area over there for you to, as a study area, that you can have an option to actually do a glass partition or even just fully seal up for your helper to act as a helper's room or even a helper / storeroom as well. So over here, once you enter for the C4PS, right, this unit also comes with a household shelter. I would think that this is a unit type that will cater to people who are buying for own stay. There's also a helper's WC at the back. The DB box is also at the back. So basically, you can create a door to separate the yard area from the kitchen, and there you have a helper's quarter over there. Bedrooms and all these are pretty standard, so I'm not going to go through. This unit is 1044 square feet, and facing wise, there's only one stack that is actually facing Innova Primary School. Like I said just now, I'm a sucker for unblocked view. However, some things you need to take note that is actually just beside the main road as well. So for people that cannot stand noise, or you like to have your windows all open big every day, even when you sleep that time, right, then I would think that this is a unit that you may potentially want to avoid. Next, the other unit of the 3-bedroom premium with study is more interesting. So the other layout, right, for the 3-bedroom plus study actually is pretty similar layout. However, the living area is like a straight walk through lah. So most cases for this kind, some people don't like it. Number one, for privacy purposes. Number two, for some more unique purpose, which is feng shui. They feel that the door open, go in, straight away go out. Personally, I don't get this kind of options, this kind of objections very frequently nowadays because people are not as pantang as last time lah. However, if you think it really bothers you, you can always just create a hedge to actually block it off. So this layout basically is almost like exact mirror image, just a difference in the walkway, but it comes with 2 different facing. I would like this facing a little bit more because it actually has the stack that is facing Innova Primary School. Like I mentioned earlier on, however, even though I love unblocked views, when you're buying as an investor, don't buy what you love, buy what is of value. If the better facings are a little bit more expensive, let's say they are loading like a 5 to 10%, 10% means 150k difference. Personally, I would just go for the stack 27. I'll go for a low floor, facing the facilities, facing your own garden or landscaping. I would think that as an agent, I don't mind selling houses like this. So I don't mind buying houses like this because I feel that it's pretty easy to sell if you find the right agent who knows how to bring out the value. So my personal take for pure investment, assuming that the unblocked views have very high loading, will be stack 27. And why is it not number stack 26? Because stack 26, if let's say you're going for the similar low floor unit, you'll likely be having very little lighting coming in. However, not saying that you cannot buy, I'm just saying like my personal preference from an investment perspective. Now, coming to the 4-bedroom, this will be the most premium, the richest neighbor in the estate, right? And I love it. Why? Because the 4-bedroom, right, got 1173 square feet. Like, how do you find a 1173 square feet unit for a 4-bedroom? Like, impossible, right? Then you'll be thinking like, bro, must be a lousy unit. No, it's a 4-bedroom plus study. Here's how the layout looks like. There are only 2 stacks. You compromise a bit on because they're facing the early childhood development school. So you compromise a bit on the view, but if the price is right, why not? So over here you see that once you walk in, the DB box is there. There's a privacy entry walkway, enclosed kitchen with a yard, WC, household shelter, all there already. Dry kitchen that faces the dining, and I love it if you can't see the show flat. They actually furnish it up instead of giving you like white walls or just give you a glass panel see-through kind of a kitchenette design. They really give you like full cabinetries on that side, which is a great plus over here. 3.2 meter living width means like you can actually have a 85 or even 100 inch TV for your full immersion theater experience over here. After the third bedroom, there's actually this study, and this study is not a book, it's a legit study that you can walk in, you can close it up. You can even choose to take down some of the walls of the bedroom as well to actually create more space for certain rooms over here. There's a bathroom, and the rest are pretty standard. All the toilets actually come with natural ventilation, and that's 1173 square feet, starting from approximately $2.3 million. Next will be the big 4 bedrooms plus study. Likewise, they actually have a study area over there. There's also this privacy walkway and L-shaped walkway over here, enclosed kitchen, yard, WC, everything you need is actually there already. It's 1313 square feet. And why is it bigger? Because number one, it actually comes with a balcony in the master bedroom. So where the difference comes from will be the master bedroom balcony and also the walk-in wardrobe over there. So if you're someone that don't really need the walk-in wardrobe nor a balcony, then I would think that you can go for the compact unit. However, I would think that the balcony serves a good function. Why? Because from time to time, we will actually require us to do like Zoom at home or maybe just a makeshift office. I would think that the balcony, in my opinion, once you install a zip track over there, this can actually serve as a makeshift Zoom room, study room, or chill area or whatnot. For big families, especially if you got 2 or 3 kids, right, I would think that the living room usually don't belong to the adults. The balcony will actually become like your man cave. I mean, of course, provided you can afford it. And also the views, will come to that later. But before that, let's talk about the other 4 bedroom plus study. Basically, the exact same layout as the other 4 bedroom plus study, however with a longer walkway. Facing wise different, is actually situated at the corner of the 2 blocks. And when you're buying the 4 bedroom units, the 4 bedroom units don't come with any units that's facing directly at the school. They're all facing the facilities. And if you ask me which one would be my personal favorite, definitely from a per square foot perspective, I would think that the extra walkway wouldn't really serve much of a value other than having more shoe cabinet space. I mean, if you only can get that unit. However, I would think that for value perspective, I will go for the 1313 square feet unit. But wait, if the price is the same, I will consider 1335 also, like if you are getting more square footage for the same price. But unlikely so. The 4 bedroom, my favorite stack for own stay certainly will be the one facing the pool. Needless to say. However, for own stay, definitely the ones with the pool view. If I'm actually buying this for an investment perspective, I will likely be going for the stack 19 and stack 30 because I think that they will likely be offering a much lower PSF pricing, and because it's actually facing the lawn, for some people, like I said, facing lawn, I'm quite an expert at selling this because I personally love to see greenery. I'm the kind of pay premium to get greenery view, and so I will try to go for stack 19 and 30 because I think that as the agent to help the client sell in future, I think that these units are quite easy to sell. Given that the premium for the pool facing is about 5 to 7%, then I'll go for this. However, if there's not much of a premium between the pool view and this, right, of course the answer is go for the pool view first. Now, before we head on to the next topic, the algorithm showed me that only 23.4% of you are subscribed to the channel. So what happened to the rest? Can you please subscribe now? Please do me a favor. Subscribe now, please. Subscribe now, please. But anyway, if you subscribe, you can always unsubscribe later, right? So please do me a favor. Subscribe, please. Now, coming to the exit strategy. When it comes to exit strategy, we're always talking about what is the price justification over here for these units. And for context, right, I'll be using the cheapest unit to justify. In case you're buying, you're thinking whether in future are you able to exit or are you going to lose money? Because obviously that's what is always on the buyer's mind. So first, I'll be sharing with you the 1 plus study. The 1 plus study at 988,000. The 1 plus study is something that people always say that, oh, 1 bedroom cannot buy, right? They've seen cases where people buy 1 bedroom, never make money. However, most of the time, right, these people who say that are the ones that buy a resale and they're collecting rental. For the new launches, right, I personally have bought a 1 bedroom before and I made a profit. My friends who could only afford actually bought 1 bedrooms. Quite a ton of us, we bought riverfront residences and we all made profit. And you'll be telling me that last time cheaper. No, today, right, when you're buying at this price at $988,000, do you know that just 2 MRT stations ahead, there are developments that already sold their 1 bedroom unit without study at about $1.3 something million. For low floor, $1.2 over million and facing main road. But this development for 988,000, basically you just need to add a 20%, which is an exit pricing, and you use 988 multiplied by 1.2. This is the amount. And given that currently the 1 bedrooms along this MRT line just 2 stations away are already selling $1.25 to $1.3 million million. Your target exit price in 2028 is actually the tested and proven price that people are buying today in 2024, just 2 MRT stations away. 2 bedrooms, I don't have to repeat myself. I already mentioned 2 MRT stops away. 1 bedroom is already traded, tested and proven, done and dusted at 1.25 to 1.3 million. If you are able to get a $1.238 million 2 bedroom unit, you are basically paying the same price for 1 extra toilet and 1 extra bedroom. What can go wrong? Target exit price plus 20% will be in future. You're trying to sell at about $1.5 million. Today you run a check in the entire Singapore for OCR region, right? There isn't much of options if you have $1.5 million looking for a 2 bedroom. What I earlier on mentioned, the exit price is already 2024 done and dusted, tested and proven. People are willing to accept $1.5 million, so there's pretty much of a certainty of exit for this 2 bedroom itself. But disclaimer, this is actually the cheapest unit. If you're looking for a more premium unit, you also need to analyze whether the price loading makes sense or not. Coming to the 3 bedroom unit, we all know that today to buy a 3 bedroom, you minimally today for a 3 bedroom compact unit, you will need to pay about $2 million. If 1 year ago, in 2023, you'll be able to get units at about $1.9 million. But in 2024 context, the tested and proven, the accepted 3 bedroom compact unit type, right, is actually selling at minimally $2 million. So for this unit being at $1.69 million, multiplied by 1.2, this is the target price. You are basically trying to sell slightly above the tested and proven $2 million 3 bedroom compact price in the entire OCR region. So do you think it's achievable? Let me know. Last but not least, what I think about the 4 bedroom plus study and why I think this unit is my personal favorite unit type. After post-launch, it's not fully sold. I'll consider buying for under my wife's name as well, because in the stretch in Lentor, right, you don't have an option of 4 bedroom plus study, and this one is actually perfect for those that actually need a study and you have 3 kids. You need a study and you have a helper, and most importantly, you don't have budget to buy a 5 bedroom, which costs about $3.3 to $3.4 million. For a 4 bedroom plus study, it's not available in here, and most of the OCR region, you don't really have it. So I would think that during the point of exit, this will be something very, very interesting. The comparable 4 bedrooms in the Lentor area and the rest of the OCR area will be at least $2.5 to $2.8 million for OCR. Tested and proven, people already bought. So buying at $2.238 million, you need to sell at $2.685 million, and just a few MRT stations away and the whole entire OCR region, this is already the price that people pay. The normal price for 4 bedroom in 2024. So can you exit in 2028 at this price? I certainly think so. I'm pretty confident that this is a good deal. Now, my final thoughts of this development, I think that the pricing really makes sense. However, in this kind of situation, you need to be careful to select the right unit, meaning to say that you don't pay too much for the premium units just by looking at the PSF. So these are my opinion on the price. If you need my advice, this is my number. So that's all we have for today. As usual, like, comment, subscribe, turn on notification bell because we post weekly real estate videos like these. And to check out this show flat or any other developments, this is my number. I'm just a message away. Thanks for watching and I'll see you at the next one. Happy house hunting!